Xin chào, good morning, how's it going? Today is Wednesday, March the 26th. I'm currently in Vietnam, northern Vietnam, in a place called Ninh Bình. It's a pretty cool little spot. So we're about 2 hours south of Hanoi, which is Vietnam's capital city. Today we're going to be going on a little boat cruise through some caves, so that should be very interesting. I'm going to take you guys along with me to show you what we see. So I've been in Vietnam for 10 days now. I had recorded a few times, but just really wasn't happy with either what I recorded, or I wasn't really able to edit the videos the way I would have liked to. I'm still learning through that process, so we're going to try again. Been to Hanoi, which as I said is the capital city, or as the locals would probably say, Hanoi. Also been up to Sapa, which is up in the mountains, which was bitterly cold. By the way, they call this area Halong Bay on land. If you want to Google Halong Bay, and then you understand why they call this on land. Yeah, so Sapa for a couple of days up in the mountains, which, let's try and cross the road here, which was good, but unfortunately it was extremely cold. Talking temperatures of 4 or 5 degrees during the day, below zero at night, and no heating in the rooms, in the accommodation. So really just jacket, multiple layers, and multiple blankets to keep warm. And then we went down to a place called Mai Chau, which is a very rural area, about 3 hours west of Hanoi. That was a cool little spot, different minority ethnic groups, just rural Vietnam, very basic living. See over there, very basic living. Saw a water buffalo come straight out of a river or a lake, which was a sight. This big thing just comes out of nowhere, walking out of the water. Yeah, went back to Hanoi for a day and then back down here. And then after here, we're going to start making our way down south. So yeah, hopefully I can document more of this trip. So I've come out to Trang An boat departure point, where you can park your motorbike or a bicycle if you choose to ride down here. So it's 15,000 Vietnamese dong if you park your motorbike here, which turns out to be about $1, just under. You can stay around this area, which is probably the smart option, or as I did, I stayed in Ninh Bình itself, which is about 7 or 8 kilometers away from here, so that's why I had to get the motorbike. When you get to the ticket office, you buy a ticket for 250,000 dong, which is about $15, and they'll give you a little brochure booklet with some information in there, and I believe you get to choose between one of 3 routes to go on. It gives information about each route, how many temples, caves, so on there are in each one, and they all take about 3 hours each. Although reading, apparently one of them, route number 2, is a little bit shorter, and route number 3 is actually goes through a section where there was filming of a movie. I need to read about this and find out what movie that was because I've forgotten. Might have been King Kong, but I could be wrong. I'll find that one out later. Yeah, King Kong movie through Dot Cave is route number 3. Chosen route number 3. Now I've not watched the King Kong movie and it's probably not the kind of movie that I want to watch, but I'm going to do this route and then at some stage I'm going to watch the movie and see whether there is any resemblance, I guess, from the filming. Feeding the fish. First stop is the Trin Temple. Just saw some little fish being fed, which is pretty cool. Pretty awesome little view. And the amazing thing is these women just paddling the boat for 3 hours. I think I'd struggle doing that. We're going to be going through some of these caves as well, which some of them only get up to about 2 meters tall, so that should be interesting.
Get down. Get down. Okay.
So you'll go through 2 caves. The first one was actually quite a long one. It's about 1 kilometre long, I believe. And it was really cool. A lot of the like it drops down really low, so you have to, well, just about be laying down in the boat. You have to get your head down so you don't hit it. There's some lights through there, so it just illuminates really nicely. The second one was pretty bland. It was just a straight cave. Not much really happening in there. Still cool little experience to go through. You can see here these guys we're at a temple now. I have to find the name of it, but these guys are just doing some work here. Maybe it's going to be planting a whole bunch of new trees, I'm guessing, in that area in the middle. So they've dug out that whole area just there as well. Just a tip, so because this is about a 3-hour trip, you'll want to probably bring some snacks and drinks as well along the way. So I think this one's called Soi Tien Temple. Probably pronounce that incredibly poorly. And you can also walk over here to Voi Valley. Again, probably pronounce that terribly poorly as well. Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful area. Yeah, if you do decide to come and do this, usually they'll have 4 people to a boat. For whatever reason, we only had the 3 of us. Maybe because I'm a fatty and they didn't want to get a 4th person on there, who knows. The other thing as well is if you do come when it's much hotter, it's quite nice today. It's only like maybe 22, 23 degrees. If you do come when it's much hotter, either come early morning or late afternoon when there's no sun around, because apart from when you're going through the caves, there's no shade whatsoever. And if it does end up raining, then they do have an umbrella that can be put up onto the boats. Yeah, just a bit of info. Also, I'm not particularly I'm definitely not a temples kind of guy. I feel like once I've seen one, I've seen them all. Same goes with churches. I know it's going to probably infuriate a lot of people. Yeah, if temples are your thing, then this is definitely something that you'll want to come and do. I do appreciate how they look though. They do look pretty cool. And I'm sure building them was quite a task as well.
Kinh quang.
arrived at our final temple, I guess. Yeah, temple. We went through another cave. Again, cave was nothing special. First one was definitely the best one of the lot. And then we went through some mountain areas. Our guide did tell us that we were going through where the King Kong filming was. So yeah, that is definitely this particular route. And yeah, we're now onto our final temple. It's taken us probably about an hour and a half now, maybe a touch more. Yeah. Overall, I'd say look, it's been enjoyable. It was what, $15, so you know, definitely worth it. Especially if you're into temples and things like that, then I'm sure that you'll really enjoy it. Just the scenery itself is pretty amazing, so I think that's, for me, that's been the most enjoyable thing. And like when you're in especially that first cave, when you're in the cave, it's just incredible seeing how it's been, I don't know if it's been sculptured or the way that it's just naturally sort of eroded away, but yeah, it looks pretty incredible. It's my first time going through a cave, so I'm not sure if I'll get into going through many more, but yeah, it is definitely a good experience. I wouldn't mind kayaking through a cave myself. The next place I'm going to, which is Phong Nha, it's a national park. They've got caves there, and you can actually go on cave expeditions, multiple days where you kayak yourself through them. So yeah, I might see if we can do that as well while I'm on this trip. Also, I'd recommend if you are going to come here, you can stay in the Tam Kok area. I think that's how you pronounce it. Look, Nimbin's fine if you want to stay there. It's only about 6 or 7 kilometers away, but there's really not much happening there. It's pretty run down old city. Not too many options when it comes to restaurants and stuff, if that's what you want. Plenty of street food as with everywhere in Vietnam. Yeah, but Tam Kok is more of the touristy area. A lot more hostels and things like that if that's where you want to stay. That's it. They'll bring you back to where you set off from. And there's a little restaurant here, selling coffee, some merchandise as well, like handicraft things, bags, mugs. Tend to see a lot of mugs and plates and things like that throughout Vietnam. Yeah, you can get food, coffee, tea. Yeah, not a bad day.